So you're ready to go overseas, and we're going to offer a guide, some tips on what you need to have and what you need to prepare yourself for before you submit your application for your fiancé. So this is some information we're all going to need. So first thing is pictures. Well, that's pretty obvious, Hector. Yes, it is, but you need to have good pictures with you and your fiancé, and not just indoors sitting on a couch and having dinner. You want to be outdoors in some really good visible spots that is clear that you're overseas. So that's number one. Okay? So number two. Now this is somewhat related to that, but it's pictures with family. Well, why is that important? Well, you need to see that it's going to be a good fit, so that's important. So here we have two pictures, as you can see, number one and number two, in a group with friends and family. So very important. And you can see the third element in all these pictures, which you think it's a small thing, but we know it's important, is our smiles. So you got to make sure these pictures really you look good in terms of smiles, and that doesn't have to be perfect, but that everybody's happy to be in this situation. So that'll be important when we submit those 10 to 15 pictures. So that is kind of the basics to get started. The other thing we need to take a look at is kind of the nuts and bolts of it. Number four, your travel information. Well, you need to save it. So you need to have good copies, prints of the receipts, all the receipts in terms of electronic receipts and things like that. So that's number four. Number five is your passport. Well, not just your passport, but you need to have it stamped. So often people travel and they come back and it's not stamped. And that's important because we're going to provide that as proof that you in fact went overseas. Another key element is proving you've traveled to see your fiancé prior to submitting the paperwork. And part of that is if you don't have it, then we get this document called the I-94. We get that online for you that in fact proves that you traveled overseas. So we'll take care of that as part of the paperwork here working with us. And finally, the last thing is stay in communication with your fiancé. Now, you see, well, sure, we're talking and that kind of thing. Well, yeah, but you need to have proof. So we're going to need to have proof with Facebook, WhatsApp, text or email. So you're going to need to have an idea, and the UCIS might want to come back and say, hey, how much communication have you been in? And we'd like to see some of that conversation with your fiancé. So these are really good, 7 good tips for you to make sure that everything is seamless and it's perfect, and we'll work with you. If you're a customer of ours, we'd be glad to at U.S. Immigration Consultants. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.